Welcome, everyone, to the second annual Energy Business Summit. The Zage Business of Energy Initiative's twofold mission is to generate cutting-edge research that informs business practices and policy, and as well as educate students with the necessary skills and knowledge to become the next generation of leaders in leading energy and mineral firms and in finance companies servicing the industry. Our core tenet is that business value is created in part by balancing energy safety, security, reliability, affordability, and cleanliness. We're pleased to announce that over the last year, our research has been requested and used by the top policy think tanks in the country and has been presented in the U.S. Senate and the U.S. House of Representatives, and has led to the largest shift in California energy policy in the last 2 decades. Since the last year, since the last conference that we met, there's been a shift in the energy landscape, a significant transformation. We've seen a change in political party and policy in both the White House and Congress, and it's been accompanied by an energy surge of demand in energy, by the rapid growth of data centers. This has prompted a notable change in focus among business leaders and policymakers from an energy transition dialogue and mental schema to that of an energy expansion. In response, and at the same time, the steady decline of globalism since its peak in 2016, as well as increased geopolitical tensions, have led to a heightened emphasis on energy security. In response, the United States policies, as well as those of many around the world, are now prioritizing domestic production and friendshoring, a strategic approach to securing energy supplies, mining, mineral processing, and manufacturing through partnerships with like-minded countries. At this summit, we're honored to feature insights from industry leaders across various areas of energy and minerals who will share their perspectives on how they're navigating this changing landscape. We're first going to begin with mining and minerals. As the U.S. prioritizes energy security and imposes tariffs on countries of concern, focusing on domestic mining and mineral processing in the U.S. and strategic trade partners becomes crucial. A recent Goldman Sachs report noted that infrastructure and grid investment will drive approximately 60% of global copper demand through 2030. However, developing mines takes between 15 and 20 years, posing a significant challenge for us to obtain critical minerals such as copper, lithium, and uranium. Our first panel on mining and metals, as well as our lunch speaker, the legendary miner Robert Friedman, founder and chairman of Ivanhoe-related companies, will delve into these challenges and potential business opportunities. Next, we move to our hydrocarbons panel. With U.S. production of oil and gas at record high rates and President Trump favoring lower prices, upstream margins have been falling. Recently, Saudi Aramco announced plans to increase production, potentially adding more supply to the market. Meanwhile, a recent report has noted that the costs for shale production have increased. Can growing demand from data centers, LNG exports, and the economy absorb the potential added global supply and improve those margins? We'll hear from our CEOs of businesses who are developing strategies to address this issue. Then we're going to turn to our energy finance panel. Our electric grid is near the end of its lifespan, requiring new lines, transformers, and substations. The hyperscalers have announced $400 billion in capital investments to build data centers, which are going to require more energy and more infrastructure. How will these be financed? Our experts on energy finance will discuss the latest innovations in financing and the potential sources of capital for these projects. Following lunch, we're going to discuss energy storage and renewables. With the repeal of the Inflation Reduction Act this last summer, investment in renewables such as solar and wind after 2026 is going to look much different. Given that battery storage has complemented intermittent renewables, what do these changes mean for energy storage moving forward? We will hear from experts about the business case for energy storage, both domestically and globally. We're then going to move to our nuclear power panel. Once a stigmatized industry with little support in this country is now experiencing a renaissance, driven by advancements in technology and growing energy demands. We're going to hear from nuclear energy leaders discuss the potential of small reactors to deliver value while minimizing risks. Finally, the talk of the town has been artificial intelligence and the potential this has to transform business productivity. It has created a global AI arms race with tremendous amount of capital being spent on data center deployment. We're going to hear from leaders of the industry about how these planned data centers can obtain the sufficient power that they need and what the implications might be on the energy marketplace. I'm excited to kick off this conference, and let's go ahead and begin. Thank you.